Hello YouTube, this is Charlie426, and today we have the review of the HG Garazzo from the Gundam OO series Season 2. Now, once again, once I was getting into the OO kits, these were definitely one of those kits that I wanted to try out, but once again, if it wasn't available at Gundam Base, then I couldn't really get a kit of this. And apparently for quite some time, this kit has been a little bit rare, until recently. I did say recently, but let's say about 2 to 3 weeks ago, they reissued this kit. Among with I believe they reissued the Goddess. I believe not the Goddessa, but the Goddess, the one with the sword. And apparently the Goddess definitely sold out much faster than the Garazzo, because about last week when I went to Gundam Base, only the Garazzo was available. So anyway, let's get on to the review. So basically, I would like to mention right off the bat that this kit is definitely unique in terms of design. Definitely, it has a very different vibe when you compare it with most mobile suits in the series. And definitely, if I remember correctly, this design is kind of what the Razihel Gundam is based on. So yeah, structure-wise, not in terms of the entire thing, but yeah. Anyway, let's get on to the review. So first of all, what you get, of course, is obviously the mobile suit itself, and obviously at the moment, hand-wise, I gave it the knuckle hand, or the fist hand, and then otherwise, this kit is much more of a case where he's a close combat unit, and all the weapons are kind of built into the kit. So which is why we don't really get any handheld weapons. So here are the other hands. We get a set of fully open hands, which are fine, and definitely has a much more longer fingers. And then here we have the Jian Claw blade effect parts, and I absolutely love these effect parts. The orange turned out very well. Although I do wish they actually gave you two versions. One would be this, and then the other one would be like where the hands are all clustered up here like this in the fingers. But I do wish there was a spread out version, so you can actually really get that scratch effect going on here. But still, once again, they did a pretty good job on these ones as well. So those are technically all the stuff that you should be getting from the kit. So here are some other stuff. So leftover wise, we do have a Polycarb leftover piece, and technically there's one more piece that I did not bring out, which is actually the hole cover for the crotch area. So if you don't want to use an action base, you can always cover up that hole. And then we have a sticker sheet. As you can see, I did use everything except for these large ones, because I really don't like those stickers. And then the way they are supposed to go are on the legs, the end tip here, right over here. Once again, it's a round surface, so it's definitely the main reason why I didn't use it, because these are round surfaces, and at the moment I do like it without the different color inside, so I decided to skip on it. But other than that, I used everything, so I will point out what sticker goes where. And then we get a free action base. Once again, to some people this may be good because, oh cool, it's a free action base, but at the same time, for those who've been using some other action bases will know that these aren't exactly the best. Alright, so we've seen the basic components. Now let's look at the kit itself. Let me just get rid of the rotating base and see what we got. Alright, so let's start with the head. So definitely one other unique aspect that got me interested in this kit was that, according to the wiki, that there's actually a Gundam style or a Gundam face on the inside. So after reading that, I really wanted to try out this kit. And apparently there is a little bit of resemblance there. So you have this red visor going on here, but what you can also do is that you can kind of pull down the visor, which is actually a gimmick mentioned in the manual, is that it reveals the Gundam style eyes on the inside. So yeah, pretty cool detail. Although I'm not sure in terms of technology wise if there's any difference between the two, so I'm not sure if that's supposed to open when something's supposed to happen, but yeah, it's just a really nice small detail that actually got me interested in here. Alright, now the head is connected to a Polycarb ball joint, and obviously the eye on the inside is a sticker, so keep that in mind. Now the ball joint, when I first connected the head, I wasn't really sure if the head was actually connected, because the connecting feel is that it's very light. So just if it's connected, if it's not falling off, that means it's connected. So yeah, I actually was wondering if I did something wrong, but no, it is how it is. So you can go down that much, up that much, that's not too much. So in terms of the up and down range, it's not really that much. And 360 technically should be possible, but because of all this other stuff going on here, there are some blocking parts. So I'm gonna say no unless you force it. Alright, now let's get the arms. Now the shoulders are definitely gigantic. They're very huge, and despite that, they do have pretty good articulation. So the entire shoulder is actually connected to a main plastic ball joint. So you can go forward and backward pretty well. 360 should be no problem as well. And then the arms, well, the arms are kind of on the stiff side. So keep in mind this thing here was the GN field gimmick, where you can actually open this section up slightly, and then you get the GM feel. Of course, I do highly suggest that you color the inside either in gold or yellow, because that's supposed to be how it is. There's no sticker for that. And the arms are a little bit stiff, so you can go to the side less than 90 degrees on this side because of the shoulder design, but on the other side you can go 90 degrees because there's nothing blocking the way. So yeah. Now the arms do have still have your typical 360 twist. And then you have a decent bend going on here, about 90 degrees bend, and then you have your typical ball jointed hands. Now the hands, as you can see, every time you swap out hands, you need to take off this knuckle guard part. So these are the GN spikes. These work also as knuckles close combat weapons. So you have to put it here, but if you're on the fist section, you can close it down, and then now you have knuckle fist. I love this kind of detail. And apparently this is also a weapon, according to the manual, which is called the... wait, no, that's not it. The GN cutter. So these are also weapons. So these are GN cutters. I'm not exactly sure how you would use these as weapons, and if it's on the elbow, but it still works. Alright, so on the main body there's two more stickers. So there's these red round stickers you can see right over here. These reds are stickers. So they're small stickers, so no need to worry about that. And the main body, not much of an ab crunch going on here, and no side to side, because once again, a little bit stiff. It's just a single piece here connected to a single joint here, so there's nothing moving on the main body. Now looking at the backpack, so this is the GN drive for the unit as far as I know, and then you also have the gimmick where you can actually pull this off, and then it works as a escape unit like this. So you still have all the gimmicks going on here, so which is a nice detail. And then you can move this part up and down, which is actually meant for, you know, for the backpack itself. So you can move this much, which is pretty good, but no side to side movement. So don't try to force it. All right, so now we see the main body, on the main backpack. Now let's look at the waist. Now the waist is kind of interesting. So we have this single piece, and everything is connected to the waist. So this part is connected to the Polycarb, and then this part is just flops around forward and backward, oddly enough. And because of the overall design or style, there's no front skirt, or there's no front skirt here. Now we do have a back skirt, but no movement here. And then let's see what we got. So for the legs, we do have a samurai side swivel going on here, but the joints here is kind of interesting, where usually we would get a plastic ball joint, but no, we actually use a Polycarb ball joint to connect the main legs, which I thought was kind of interesting. But despite that, it doesn't really change. Of course, do be careful when you're moving the legs, because of the Polycarb is connected separately, you can actually, while moving the legs, the Polycarb might slide off a little bit by bit. So once you're done with doing it, do make sure to push it back in, so to make sure that it doesn't fall off. Oh, and regarding the main body, 360 twist should be possible. Alright, and then the legs, because there's no front skirt, the legs are kind of free to move forward as well, and then backward, not so much because of the back skirt. Bend wise, we get a really nice bend going on here, and then going to the side is not going to be easy. I'm just gonna say that, because the ball joint here is actually kind of wrapped around here, so yeah, you can't go to the side 90 degrees. Now the feet are kind of interesting. Now, I do prefer flat feet like these, but the way how they work is kind of interesting. So the build-wise, they keep mentioning where you plug it in, you have to slightly twist it or something like that, but I really don't know how to get that work. So sometimes I will have one of these toes popping out, but still, it's not bad. And at the worst scenario, I can always glue these on. So this is when you're on the ground. So if you want to make it stand on the ground, this is what you do. Of course, make sure that your kit is balanced, because the overall feet, the angle is kind of on the odd side, I will be honest. And then if you want to make it look like it's airborne, what you can do is you can fold this part down and then fold the entire feet downwards, and then there's another joint on the inside which allows you to fold this down, and voila, you have the kit in kind of on its airborne situation. And here are the extra stickers. These black sections here are stickers, so yeah. Alright, so we've seen the basics of the kit, so I think there's only one thing left to show, in which is the GN blades, or the GN claws, or yeah, let me check. Yeah, the GN beam claw. Now, if you're wondering if this thing does have if it actually has any long range weapons, and the answer is yes. Actually, if you actually played the SD Gundam Capsule Fire Online, and actually, if you actually use this kit or this unit, this was a very, very good unit, because not only it was powerful close combat, but you also have a rapid firing. I think this is a GN Vulcan, yeah. Rapid firing GN Vulcan here. So definitely, I would say this kit is one of the well balanced close combat type mobile suits out there, because once again, it has a lot of close combat weapons, it has the defense unit, and then you also have a long range weapon. So I say this one is very well balanced. Alright, so once again, I'll be right back with the beam claws. Okay, I'm back. So here we have the HG Garazzo on its airborne mode, and then I attached the GN Beam Claw effect parts. Once again, I really love these orange effect parts. They really look cool, and keep in mind, every time you swap out hands, you do need to take off these knuckle guards and then reattach them. So they are on a clipping mechanism, so you don't need to worry about like disassembling the hands. And once again, definitely loving the overall look and design. Definitely has that alienish look going on here, I'm not gonna lie. Now, once again, I did mention all the parts that you need to be careful about, especially with the Polycarb ball joints. And then once again, if you can't find this version, there's also exactly the same kit but in a different color scheme. So if you can find at least one of them, I'm pretty sure you're going to be pretty satisfied. So for now, I don't think I'm going to get the other version, which is the brownish color going on here, since I have this. For now, I think I'm going to be more focused on getting the HG Goddess. So the other one, which is I believe called the Goddessa, is the one that carries around the giant beam cannon. Now, once again, I'm not the biggest fan of that weapon, but once again, if I can find either one of them, I will try to review them. Anyway, that's pretty much it for the review. So once again, if you're looking for something kind of unique or different from your typical mobile suits, I highly recommend this. The color scheme, especially, I do like this version a lot, because it does have that unique touch going on there. And yeah, overall the build was pretty fun, basic, simple, but still the overall design style is very different from the series. So once again, I highly recommend this. Anyway, thank you for watching the review. If you guys got any questions or requests, in the comment below. I still have more stuff to buy and build and make reviews out, so please stay tuned. But once again, this was the review of the HG Garazzo. So once again, until then, see you guys next time.